I established respect and rapport through the use of positive feedback on students' understanding and skills. I acknowledged my students' answers to the small group and then modeled how his answer was correct. When asking students how many jumps I had to make to get from 6 to 8, students would say 2. I didn't mention that the answer was correct at first, but instead I would take into consideration their answer and then would work together as a class to find if the answer was correct or not. For students who still didn't understand using the number path, I had students write the numbers 1 through 10 on top of their whiteboards, just like how they had it in their workbook. But this way, they were able to draw on it and manipulate it on their own. When a student told me that 6 plus 3 equals 8, I had to reconsider how I was providing my instruction. So instead of just mentioning straight out to the student that the answer is incorrect, I provided instead a way of how the student could count. So instead of saying that 6 plus 3 equals 8 is wrong and telling him 3 is not the correct answer, we worked together as a class to see how it actually is. So when we circled 6 up here, we would make one jump to 7 and another jump to 8. And that would be 2 jumps. So 6 plus 2 would have been 8. And then this way we corrected our misunderstanding of how many jumps it actually had to be. I also use movements as a way to engage and keep students focused on the lesson. When we were listening to one of the videos from the first lesson, I had students stand up and jump along with the characters from the videos. Using the videos in my first and second lesson had helped my students understand what the lesson was going to be about. It showed a small portion of what the content of the lesson was going to be about, but it didn't become overwhelming to the students. With the second lesson, I had students draw a number bond on their whiteboard, and together we would fill out the missing parts from the number bond. I would constantly ask students to show me their whiteboards in order for me to see their thinking process. When certain students had the right idea of the answer, I would call them out and let the class know how such and such student answered this problem with this answer. Is the student correct? Yes or no? And then we will all work together on solving the problem. I also made sure to not single out any students, and instead of pointing out certain students who are wrong, I put myself as my own explanation, and if I wrote down that 10 plus 5 plus 6 is actually 10 when it's not, then I would have students correct myself.